Bala with us now of Cash the Chaos. So we'll sort of bring him in for a quick view and then get you that Federal Bank soundbite that I was referring to. Jay, good to have you with us here. Thank you for your time. So that bounce is no bounce. It's just been one way. And that's surprising, isn't it? Just market oversold, but remaining oversold. What's the sense now, near term, from here?
That's right, Prashant. It's quite tricky. The market came to time and price support, and market didn't respond higher. It was only the mid cap and the small caps which saw a reasonable amount of bounce, but the large caps haven't responded to a significant support. But the where the market is and the next significant support, there's quite a bit of gap, and the markets are just flattening right here, doing nothing much significant. But the problem is, this kind of positioning could lead to some level of distress selling. So I suspect the market could go to the support rather than bounce from here, because the significant support was 22,725 and market is considerably below that. The next support is 22,100 for the Nifty and then followed by 21,800. See, the problem is also coming up from the global markets. If you look at the cryptocurrency market, Ethereum has got smashed today by 10% and Bitcoin has clocked a double top. So the overall picture is saying that there is considerable amount of risk of coming from the global equities too. So watch out for what the market does in the next couple of days.
Jay, the good news from a bullish perspective is Jay has been giving this sell call for a long time. We saw 25,000, 24,000, 23,000. Now it appears that we are at the lower end of the range, or we are headed, or at least 21,800 to around, I think 22,100 is what you're talking about. So the odds are that that's the near-term base, that is around 2.5% away from here, and then we bounce. Will you start getting constructive at that level?
That's right, Nigel. On October 1st, I had 3 options in front of me. 2 of them was bullish, and this is one of the bullish case where the markets comes to these support levels and starts an attempt at the all-time high. But we need to see what the markets does around those levels projected near the June 4th lows. We want to see a positive response from the market. Only then we'll consider. But at the moment, the consideration is that the market is expected to bounce from there. The selling could be, once if it gets to those support levels of 21,800 to 21,200, I think the selling could be done. That's the medium-term picture. But there are alternate pictures. So I don't think we need to go into that. But,
is there a level? Is there a level before you will make that action of buy in the market, because you're talking about the market making a move once again towards that all-time high? Are there any particular levels that one should keep in mind?
See, basically, it's the structure that matters, Mangalam. See, basically, we want the markets to respond to support levels. Usually, markets base formation is a process, so we'll have considerable amount of time to react. We want the dust to settle down and show early indications that the markets are reversing. So we don't have levels at the moment, but we are anticipating that levels around the June 4th low, closing basis or intraday low basis to provide a solid support for the market.
All right, Jay, I request you to stay with us for the time being. We'll slip into a short break. More market talk on the other side.
Jay Bala still with us. Jay, you spoke about the frontline index and you spoke about how the market could perhaps be in a bottom formation process. But typically ahead of the market, we have a bunch of stocks which form bottoms and move higher as well. Are you finding any on your radar right now? Is there something that one can buy?
See, the market's a bit diverse, Mangalam. For example, if you look at something like a SRF, it's given a multi-year breakout and it's pulling back. So there are select pockets, but as such, a sector as such, I don't see anything that's moving as a whole. M&M was one of the strongest within the auto space, and that's actually clocked what we know as a 5-step down from its all-time high on the daily time frame. So autos, capital goods, FMCG, and PC were the leaders in the markets, but all those are actually in a very strong downtrend. And there is trouble brewing in the form of HDFC Bank. If a HDFC Bank were to close below 1620, that will complete a head and shoulders top, and that can be a drag on the overall market because it's got 30% on the banking index, and the banking index itself has nearly 30% on the Nifty. Things are going to change by the new SEBI rule, but as things stand now, that's what the market is. But so as to your short answer to your question, I don't find a sector as such, but there are pockets which can be hunted in a very, very careful fashion.
So you spoke about SRF as one of the stocks. You spoke about M&M as a stock, both of them doing well as well. On the downside, you were worried about HDFC Bank, and you are expecting Nifty to do well from here on once it forms a bottom. What do you think would lead it? What are other specific stocks?
Yeah, we need Reliance to complete a price structure. One more lower low below 1196. I don't know how far down. I have an objective of about 1084. If that were to get completed, that will also lend support to the market. And I need to caution your investors. There is a considerable amount of downsides up to 21,800. So basically, and there's no need to. Although the anticipation is for a bottom to form, we want the market to endorse that opinion, and we need some sort of reversal signature from the market itself before we can think of markets reversing. Because right now, as the markets are poised, it is looking like the US markets will actually turn down. If that were to happen, we need to evaluate if that is bringing more money to the Indian markets, or is the Indian markets also starting to see more selling. That's the point we are trying to make here.
All right, Jay, and also the last time you joined us, besides the headline index, you're saying you're not ruling out maybe a 10% run on the small cap index as well. That's still on?
Yeah, that's still on, Nigel. But it could start at a slightly lower level if February 18th low on the small cap index is taken out. As things stands, I don't anticipate that to get taken out. But if it were to get taken out, the rally would still be on. But it would be just slightly short of 17,000. But we could still see 8 to 10% bounce for the small cap index, but from a slightly lower level.
Okay, all right. Jay, request you to stay with us. We'll want to know a couple of stocks more of yours on the markets forward. For the time being, let's take stock of the